Bad Bunny, a Puerto Rican rapper, singer, and songwriter known for his genre-blending music that mixes reggaeton, Latin trap, hip-hop, and more. His real name is Benito Antonio Martínez Ocasio, and he first gained major attention in the mid-2010s through SoundCloud and collaborations with artists like Cardi B, I Like It, and Drake, MIA. Bad Bunny's rise to fame is a modern music industry phenomenon, fueled by the internet and social media rather than traditional record label promotion. He began by uploading tracks to SoundCloud while working as a supermarket bagger and studying at the University of Puerto Rico at Arecibo. His distinctive voice, genre-pushing style, and raw lyrical delivery quickly caught the attention of DJ Luyan, who signed him to his record label, Hear This Music. One of Bad Bunny's early singles, Soy Pure, 2016, became a viral hit and marked a turning point in Latin trap, helping solidify the genre's growing popularity. The song showcased his unique aesthetic, emotional vulnerability paired with aggressive beats and catchy hooks, and was praised for breaking away from the machismo typically associated with Latin urban music. His international breakthrough came with high-profile collaborations, most notably I Like It, 2018, alongside Cardi B and J Balvin, which topped the Billboard Hot 100 chart and introduced him to a global audience. The song was notable for seamlessly blending Latin trap with boogaloo and hip-hop, and Bad Bunny's Spanish-language verse played a pivotal role in its crossover appeal. Around the same time, his collaboration with Drake on MIA 2018 further elevated his status, as it featured Drake singing entirely in Spanish, an indication of Bad Bunny's growing influence and the increasing acceptance of Spanish-language music in the mainstream U.S. market. Unlike many artists who rely heavily on English crossover hits, Bad Bunny managed to gain international acclaim without abandoning his native language or cultural roots, a feat that set him apart in the industry and established him as a trailblazer for Latin music's global rise. Bad Bunny is widely celebrated for his fearless and innovative approach to music, particularly his ability to blend genres that traditionally remain separate in Latin and global music scenes. His work is rooted in reggaeton and Latin trap, but he frequently draws from a wide spectrum of styles, including hip-hop, punk, rock, bachata, salsa, EDM, and even indie pop, creating a sound that feels both unpredictable and authentic. This genre fluidity has become a hallmark of his artistry, allowing him to continuously reinvent himself while appealing to diverse audiences. Unlike many artists who stick to formulaic sounds, Bad Bunny pushes boundaries with each release, challenging what Latin urban music can be. A prime example of his genre-blending style is found in the track Yo Perreo Sola from his 2020 album YHLQMDLG. The song is anchored in classic reggaeton rhythms, but is layered with modern electronic influences and features feminist themes, further pushing the limits of the genre's lyrical content. In the music video, Bad Bunny famously appears in drag, visually reinforcing the song's message of female empowerment and independence on the dance floor, a bold departure from reggaeton's traditionally hyper-masculine image. Another standout track that illustrates his musical versatility is Dakiti, his 2020 collaboration with Jay Cortez. The song blends a hypnotic, futuristic beat with smooth melodies and ambient sounds, fusing trap and electronic elements to craft a sonic experience that feels both danceable and introspective. It became a global hit, topping charts and receiving acclaim for its production and genre-defying approach. His 2022 album Un Verano Sin Ti is arguably his most experimental work to date, with tracks that venture into indie rock, Otro Atardecer, Bomba and Plena rhythms, El Apagón, and Afrobeats, Me Porto Bonito. Rather than sticking to a single musical lane, the album moves fluidly between moods and styles, demonstrating Bad Bunny's refusal to be boxed into any one category. He seamlessly merges cultural references, musical traditions, and modern production techniques, crafting a body of work that speaks to a globalized generation of listeners who consume music across genre boundaries. Bad Bunny's discography is not only rich in musical diversity, but also monumental in its commercial impact, repeatedly shattering records and redefining what is possible for Spanish-language albums on the global stage. His 2020 album, YHLQMDLG, an acronym for Yo Hago Lo Que Me Da La Gana, meaning I do whatever I want, debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200, making it the highest charting all-Spanish-language album in history at the time. The album featured a wide array of styles, from classic reggaeton to trap and dancehall influences, and showcased collaborations with reggaeton legends like Daddy Yankee and newer talents like Anuel AA. The project was celebrated for its nostalgic homage to early 2000s reggaeton, while also pushing the genre forward. With hits like Zafayera, La Difícil, and Bichial, the album dominated Latin music charts and helped normalize the presence of non-English albums in the global mainstream conversation. Just months later, Bad Bunny made history again with El Último Tour del Mundo, released in November 2020. This album marked a seismic shift. It became the first all-Spanish language album to reach number 1 on the Billboard 200, a feat previously thought nearly impossible for an artist who didn't sing in English. The album leaned more into rock, punk, and introspective sounds than his previous works, reflecting the emotional toll of the pandemic and offering a deeply personal narrative that resonated with fans worldwide. Songs like Yo Visto Así and Booker T combined edgy guitar riffs with Latin trap foundations, while Dakiti, featuring Jay Cortez, balanced moodiness with club-ready energy and became a streaming juggernaut. This achievement was a turning point not only for Bad Bunny, but for Spanish-speaking artists globally, proving that language was no longer a barrier to topping US charts. Then came Un Verano Sin Ti in 2022, arguably his most commercially successful and culturally impactful album to date. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and stayed there for multiple weeks, eventually becoming the most streamed album globally on Spotify for the year, and the first Spanish-language album to be nominated for Album of the Year at the Grammy Awards. The project blended tropical vibes with political commentary, love ballads with dance floor anthems, creating a sonic journey that felt like a summer vacation across Puerto Rico and the Caribbean. Tracks like Titi Me Preguntó, Me Porto Bonito, and Ojitos Lindos became massive hits across continents, receiving airplay not just in Latin America and the US, but across Europe and Asia as well. The album's critical and commercial success cemented Bad Bunny's status as a global superstar and demonstrated the full-scale power and reach of Spanish-language music in a previously English-dominated industry. Bad Bunny's ascent from local talent to global phenomenon represents a cultural shift in the music industry, where linguistic and geographic boundaries have become increasingly irrelevant. His widespread influence is reflected not only in chart dominance, but also in his omnipresence across streaming platforms, award shows, brand campaigns, and major live events around the world. In 2022, he was named the most streamed artist on Spotify globally for the 3rd consecutive year, a record-breaking achievement that highlighted his vast and devoted international fan base. His album, Un Verano Sin Ti, topped year-end charts in dozens of countries and became a cultural soundtrack across languages and demographics. Rather than chasing English language features or altering his artistic identity for a broader audience, Bad Bunny leaned fully into his Puerto Rican roots, singing almost exclusively in Spanish, while still captivating millions of non-Spanish-speaking fans across North America, Europe, and Asia. One of the most visible examples of his global reach was his 2022 World's Hottest Tour, a massive stadium tour that sold out iconic venues like Yankee Stadium in New York, SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, and Estadio Azteca in Mexico City, drawing crowds in the tens of thousands. This tour made him the highest-grossing touring artist globally for the year, a historic milestone for a Latin artist performing predominantly in Spanish. His performances were not only musical showcases, but also cultural events. Visually dynamic, politically charged, and deeply connected to Puerto Rican identity and Caribbean aesthetics. He performed with flags, dancers, and multimedia visuals that celebrated his heritage, turning each show into a celebration of Latinidad on a global stage. His ability to headline massive international festivals like Coachella and Lollapalooza, traditionally dominated by English-speaking acts, further demonstrated his crossover appeal without compromise. His impact also extends beyond music into fashion and popular culture, where he has become a style icon, recognized by global brands and major publications. He has appeared on the cover of Rolling Stone, GQ, and Time, often challenging gender norms with bold fashion choices that include painted nails, skirts, and bright colors. His partnership with brands like Adidas and Cheetos, and his role as a WWE performer, have expanded his influence into sports, marketing, and entertainment, cementing his status as a multifaceted celebrity. Bad Bunny's global superstardom lies not only in commercial success, but in his ability to shape conversations around identity, representation, and artistic freedom on a worldwide scale. Bad Bunny has emerged as one of the most influential cultural figures of his generation, not only because of his music, but because of how unapologetically he represents his identity, challenges norms, and uses his platform to speak on social and political issues. He consistently defies expectations in an industry that has often pushed Latin male artists into narrow, hyper-masculine stereotypes. His personal style, bold, fluid, and expressive, has become a powerful statement in itself. Whether he's wearing skirts, nail polish, or colorful designer ensembles, Bad Bunny blurs gender lines and reshapes ideas about masculinity in Latin American culture, where traditional gender roles have historically been deeply ingrained. His appearance in drag in the Yo Perreo Sola music video was not only artistically daring, but also socially resonant, sending a clear message about bodily autonomy and respect, especially for women and the LGBTQ+ community, within a genre often criticized for its machismo. Beyond fashion and visual statements, Bad Bunny has also been vocal about political and social injustices, particularly those affecting Puerto Rico. He has used high-profile moments to bring awareness to issues in his homeland, such as when he wore a shirt on The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon in 2020 that read, "They killed Alexa, not a man in a skirt," referencing the brutal murder of Alexa Negron Luciano, a transgender woman in Puerto Rico. That gesture sparked global conversations about transphobia and violence against the LGBTQ+ community in Latin America. Similarly, during protests in 2019 calling for the resignation of then-Governor Ricardo Rossello, Bad Bunny halted his European tour to return to Puerto Rico and join demonstrators in the streets. He even released the protest anthem Afilando los Cuchillos with Residente and Ile, a song filled with sharp political critique and anger over government corruption. His impact also extends into more subtle cultural expressions. Through his music, he incorporates elements of Puerto Rican slang, Afro-Caribbean rhythms, and local references that maintain a strong sense of place and identity. Songs like El Apagón from Un Verano, Sin Ti mix up beat rhythms with deeply political lyrics about gentrification, power outages, and the privatization of land in Puerto Rico. The accompanying video features a documentary-style segment about displacement on the island, showing how Bad Bunny merges art and activism. His commitment to representing Puerto Rico authentically while addressing both its beauty and its struggles makes him more than a pop star. He is a cultural force who gives voice to communities that have long been marginalized or ignored in mainstream global media. Bad Bunny's influence stretches far beyond the realm of music, as he has successfully expanded his brand into fashion, acting, sports entertainment, and cultural advocacy, becoming a multifaceted figure in global pop culture. In the fashion world, he has made a lasting impact with his fearless and unconventional style, regularly appearing in outfits that challenge gender norms and redefine what masculinity can look like in the public eye. He has collaborated with major brands such as Adidas, releasing a series of wildly popular sneakers like the Forum Buckle Low, the First Cafe, which sold out instantly and sparked high resale demand, reflecting his status as a trendsetter. His partnerships extend into streetwear and high fashion, with appearances at Paris Fashion Week and on the covers of influential magazines like Vogue, GQ, and Harper's Bazaar, where he is often styled in gender nonconforming looks that resonate with younger generations embracing fluid identity and expression. In entertainment, Bad Bunny has transitioned into acting with surprising ease and charisma. One of his most notable roles came in 2022 with his appearance in the action film Bullet Train, alongside Brad Pitt. Portraying the assassin The Wolf, he brought a gritty intensity to the role that caught the attention of critics and fans alike, marking his Hollywood debut as a promising one. Following that, it was announced that he would star in El Muerto, a Marvel-adjacent film under Sony Pictures, making him the first Latino actor to lead a live-action Marvel superhero film. This casting signified a major moment not just for Bad Bunny, but for Latin representation in mainstream U.S. cinema, highlighting his crossover appeal and star power outside the music world. His acting ventures demonstrate not only versatility, but a desire to expand the narratives available for Latino characters in major franchises. Bad Bunny has also made headlines in the world of sports entertainment, particularly through his involvement with WWE. Initially appearing as a celebrity guest in 2021, he quickly proved his dedication to the craft by training extensively and participating in several high-impact matches. His performance at WrestleMania 37, where he executed moves like a Canadian destroyer with impressive precision, earned widespread praise from wrestling fans and professionals alike. He returned to WWE in 2023 at Backlash, held in his native Puerto Rico, where he competed in a full-length street fight match and received a hero's welcome from the crowd. His appearances were more than novelty. They showcased his genuine passion for wrestling and elevated the global profile of WWE's events, particularly in Latin America.